Drinking buddies, you know I love a good whiskey tube challenge. This one is going to be the top 5 bottles to entertain a guest. It's actually 6. I don't know why they said top 5, but regardless, let's go.
I'm your drinking buddy.
All right, drinking buddies. So in this theoretical situation, you are coming over and we are about to have a bottle share at my house. Actually, everyone don't show up though. I can't have 9,000 people at my house. But for this theoretical situation, we are going to pick 6 bottles that we are going to share in this bottle share, and how I would pick these bottles. Now, this challenge is brought to you by thewhiskeychannel.com. They used to be called Shelf Turds, so they changed their channel name a lot, and they also can't count. But we're not going to hold those two things against them because this is a pretty fun list. We're just going to do the list thingy because that's what we do around here. So, number 1, we're going with something that I am still forming an opinion on. Now that, for me, is going to be this Iron Root Harbinger. First time I had it, I didn't really like it. Second time I had it, I kind of liked it. So I'm somewhere in the middle, or maybe I do like it. I don't know. But I'm still working on forming an opinion of this one. It's really funky. It's really Texas, but it doesn't drink hot for being 115 proof, and it's cheap. So there's that. Something for bottle number 2, it's going to be something around me. So you have to be nearby me to be able to find it. And I've been talking a lot about Adventurous Stills lately, which is a local distillery up in Tempe. But around me, I'm going to say Tucson only. And there's really only one great distillery in Tucson, and that is Whiskey Del Bac. So I would break out this bottle of Normandy. This is an American single malt finished in French Calvados bottles, French Calvados barrels. And it is fantastic, made right here a couple miles from my house. And it's around here. So if you're not from around here, you probably have not had it. So we're going with that one. Next, we're going with a fantastic finished whiskey. So something finished. And I had a lot of options for this because I do like finished whiskeys. But one really comes to mind that I really like to share with guests. Hence why it's getting low because it's so good. But this is the Jack Daniel's Distillery Series straight Tennessee whiskey finished with toasted pecan wood chips. And it's 120 proof. And it is so freaking good. The Tennessee Tasters, the Distillery Series are awesome. They're not something you can get outside of Tennessee, but if you're in Tennessee, I would look to grab some because they're really good. Something terrible. Why do we want to share something terrible with our guests? Well, somebody, man, try this food, it's awful. People do that. This is kind of that idea, like, oh, this smells so bad, you got to smell it. Like, it's kind of that idea, like it's so bad that maybe they might use that as a floor and be like, wow, that is terrible, you're right. And then they taste this other stuff and they're like, man, that's amazing. So for number 4, I'm actually going to go with the Dickel 8-year. It's not the worst bottle I own, but I really don't like it. And so therefore, I finished it. I threw in some of these, threw in a little Amberana oak. And so now it tastes like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So I'm going to, highlight the fact that this whiskey was terrible, and now it tastes like a breakfast cereal. So it's going to be kind of one of those little cool projects that I've done. So I can share some of my cool projects I've done with people. And it's still not the best whiskey. It went from being bad to being okay. So I think that's what's kind of cool about this little project I did here is, we messed around with it. We did some home aging, and we took a product that I didn't like and made it something that I do. So I think that's pretty cool. Next up is going to be a unicorn bottle. Number 5 is going to be something that you had to open doors, you had to have a connection to get. Now, I have a lot of those behind me. So here's what I want you guys to do. What should be my number 5 bottle? That's going to be what you're going to comment down below. I'm cheating a little bit here, but you're here pretending, of course. Like I said, I can't have 9,000 people in my house, but you're pretending you're coming over and you're going to get to sample one of the bottles behind me. Put a comment down below which one you would want to try. And if it's the one I'm thinking of, you might not say that specific one because that's going to be number 6, my most expensive. And I can't deny the fact that this sells for like $1,500 on secondary. So that has to be my most expensive bottle, even though, I'm going to leave a little gap here, even though it only cost me about $125. I paid retail for it. But if you were to go buy this bottle online, it would be by far the most expensive bottle on any of these shelves. So therefore, it's my most expensive whiskey. And I have no problem sharing my whiskey with people. My friends come over, I share. So I put samples together for friends, and they put samples together for me. So there will be no harm in sharing this WLW with you guys. Like I said, theoretically, I can't have 9,000 people over. How many times I have to reiterate this? Anyway, drinking buddies, what number should be my bottle 5? So something behind me that you would like to try. And thank you for the Whiskey Tube community for doing stuff like this. I think it's kind of fun when you get other channels involved. And whenever I do something like this, I like to challenge other channels. So sorry, Tipsy Whiskey Shenanigans. Steven, you're going to have to do one of these videos. Sorry, Kurt and Trent from SLB Drinks. You're going to have to do one of these. And lastly, let's go with Everyday Drinker. So Nathan from Everyday Drinker, we're going to need your list as well. Cheers, drinking buddies. See you on the next one.
I'm your drinking buddy.